Ooh. Hello, everybody. How you guys doing today? What's up, Clifton? Yo, crippling our clowns. How you doing, buddy? Alex Shields Jones. What's up, pimp? What's up? What up, Eli Gaming? Yeehaw. Ah, it's not a documentary about me. It's fine. We're not playing games today. We're just gonna sit here and talk for an hour or two. Just chatting talk. I thought you died. You were just banned. Are these Beats by Dre? I think. I don't know what these are. Like honestly, it's just it's a headset that I had at the house. I don't think they're Beats by Dre. It's Betron. Let's look them up. Betron headphones. Let's do earbuds. Yeah, these are like little $32 earbuds. Like these are just for chatting. That's what they're for. Is this a new shirt? No. Honestly, like it's a shirt that I have no business wearing because I'm getting a little too fat for it. I have no interest in roasting Phil. I don't have interest in that. I'll make fun of Phil every now and then with playful jabs. It is what it is, right? I don't hate Phil. I don't dislike Phil, but I will say this. I like the fact that he's making fun of me. It is what it is. Why the outfit? I put something on for the stream, man. I put a hat on and I put a dress shirt on. What were you thinking about making that thumbnail? Um, well, I didn't make the thumbnail. I requested the thumbnail. And I told them, like, hey, you know that meme where like the white girl's around with all the dudes and she's on the couch? Do that with me, but like make it a bunch of soldiers beating me up in the game. And that's what came up with it. Would you rather survive an necromorph infestation or a derelict ship or quadricep outbreak? I don't know, man. I can barely fucking walk. I'm not worried about surviving an outbreak. I will not survive an outbreak. Da, 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 da. Yeah, it's just supposed to be funny. Am I going to retire soon? No, I'm nowhere close to retiring. Like, if I had to guess, I'm about 22% of the way of retiring. I got the Arthur Morgan fit on. Look, I've been trying my ass off to try to lose weight for like the last 2 months, and I have done nothing, gained nowhere. Yo, Pip, I heard you that. By the way, remember, all troll comments have to be on the back of $10 bills, even if they're other people's trolls. Mikey, dude, chill out, dude. If you don't want to watch a stream, you ain't got to watch a stream. You can leave. When we're getting there, all life. Oh, good. No, somebody put my address out there. Dude, Eric, everybody knows my address. My shit's been fucking doxed for years. It's not so much the exercise. It's just that it's the eating I struggle with. Like I don't like. Here's my two issues with exercise, and I know it's excuse, but like my two issues with this is this, right? As big as I am right now, it sucks to walk around or even stand up without moving, right? So like I gotta kind of like use momentum to like shuffle my way where I need to go, or my lower back kills me. So in my head, there's a couple ways to do that. I can be very disciplined with eating, drop 50 to 60 pounds and be able to walk around relatively pain free. Or, I had to just walk it out now and just deal with the pain. I don't know which way is the right answer because I struggle so much with the eating part of it. Dude, I've always been an incredibly lazy human. Dude, I used to do 3 videos a day for years on end. It's not an effect of laziness, it's an effect of lack of motivation or lack of reward for the work you used to do. Like when I used to get paid for like putting out work, I put out fucking work. Right? Like every day, wake up from sunrise to sunset, I would fucking be making YouTube videos. Right? There was no live streams or like Discord chats. The only way you chatted with your fans was making videos. But like as time went on, my health got worse. My body got worse, and everything went into the shitter. Guys. I don't care about Dark Side Phil talking shit, dude. If you want to say Dark Side Phil's talking shit, put it on the back of a $10 bill. I just got done working out, so I'm a little out of breath. Like I'm full on sweating. Like I'm like I'm actually trying to lose weight this time, and it's like it's just not going well. It's just not going well. All right, last warning. If you say DSP without it being on the back of money, you will be timed out. If you come back from the timeout and say it again, you will be banned. I know it takes time. Like I've been off soda for two months now, and I haven't lost a fucking pound. And now I'm doing light weights, like light free weights, and trying my best to like walk as far as I can. But it is what it is. I don't want to talk about weight loss, guys. Let's talk about something else. All right, we're gonna start getting rid of people now. Yeah, we're just chatting tonight, Gary. I don't overeat 10,000 calories a day. I can tell you exactly what I ate today. Here's exactly what I've had today. I had one of those small, like fun, like kid size bag of Ruffles chips, and I had a big QB burger and French fries. I added tomatoes and mushrooms to the QP burger, and I had like a third of a serving of chips and salsa. That's what I ate today. Yeah, obviously I overeat, and like overeat is compounded by sadness, right? like there's days where it's bad, there's days where it's not bad. And the problem is I have more bad days than I have good days recently, obviously. But like I don't overeat every fucking day of the week. And again, I'm done talking about weight loss. We're done with it. No weight loss talk, please. I don't like grilled chicken. I'd rather eat nothing than eat grilled chicken. Is Final Fantasy Tactics worth playing? It's a game that if you really like turn-based, tile-based tactics games, it's one of the best. But it's 100% nostalgia. You got to really want to get into it to get into Final Fantasy Tactics. If you're on the fence about getting it, I wouldn't get it. No, I didn't like Slay the Spire 1, so why would I buy Slay the Spire 2? What's my takes on the Challenger and the Camaro being discontinued? Um, I don't understand why they discontinued the Challenger. I think the Challenger and like the Charger are basically what kept Stellantis afloat for the most part, right? Like that's the only car people talk about. Nobody talks about the Ram. Nobody talks about the fucking Dodge Dart or the Hornet or any of the other cars, right? You don't see people over here like, yeah, give me the Durango. No, it's the Charger and the fucking Challenger. I can see why, but like, it's there's only so many of those cars you can sell, right? They're the worst selling car for every other manufacturer. Nobody wants to buy a 2-seat, tiny back seat, like well, 2-door coupe that's fast, right? And the problem is cars nowadays aren't have raised the bar too much, right? Back when I was a young man, 400 horsepower was the standard, right? If you had 400 horsepower, you were faster than 90% of everything on the road. There was like 1 out of 10 cars that you met even had a chance against you. Nowadays, there's V6 engines that make 300 horsepower. I mean, there's V6 Toyota Camrys pushing 300 horsepower, right? Back in the day, these V6 Camrys would have dog walked muscle cars from the 90s. So like when you make a pony car that puts out 450 horsepower, that's great, especially if you can put a warranty to it. But Tesla makes like 600. You know what I'm saying? It's like 600 is what you need to be the fastest car on the road anymore. And people, that's what people are buying. They want the prestige, they want the look, and they want the feel. You can get the feel at 400. Like 400 horsepower is fast enough for anybody on this planet. But if you want to be the best, and you'll be like, yeah, my shit's better than yours, you gotta go to 6. And 600 costs money unless you go electric. Big ups, Mitch. Thank you for the $2. Dude, soulless SUV. Don't even get me wrong. Like I seen a car the other day, and my wife said, like, ew. It was a fucking Geo Tracker. Like a dude had a Geo Tracker. He had some fucking nice wheels on it. He had some nice tires on it. It was a rag top. He had the rag top off, so he's like almost had it set up like a Jeep. And I'm like, dog, that's a cool fucking car right there. And this was a shit fucking car back in like the late 80s, early 90s, right? But like that shit car has got more soul in it than any one of these like Ford Edges or Ford Sports or Ford EcoSport or Buick Active or whatever the fuck it has. And it's like, hey, Gary, have a good night, bro. Catch you tomorrow. Thank you, Gary, for the $5. Catch you tomorrow, man. Thank you, sir. And like everybody has a crossover car. Everything's a crossover car. At this point, bring the sedans back. I don't know why people are against having like Camrys and Tauruses, because I'd rather have a nice Ford Taurus than any fucking like midsize Ford SUV, which is funny because I own a midsize Ford SUV. The power of a V4, the mileage of a V8. Why do I dodge? Shippo got banned for talking about troll content, just like you're about to get banned. Yeah, the 2.7 is built like a diesel, though, Blake. Like the 2.7 Turbo Max and the 2.7 in V6 and Fords, they're both. God, what's the term right here? It's a compact graphite iron blocks on them, and they go together with 2-piece with dowel pins. They're built like a diesel truck, so they're what you call CGI blocks. How much horsepower is my truck? 420 with 460 foot-pounds of torque. Very sussy? What do you mean? Would I own a KEI truck? I don't know what that is. What's one game you want to relive playing for the first time again? Fallout 3. Fallout 3. What's my thoughts on the Raptor? Overpriced, underperforms, but still a cool concept. They're just Raptor is one of the better cars you can buy nowadays and hold value, but it's every car loses value. But a Raptor is one of the few that you can buy, put 50,000 miles on, and still sell for like 80% of its original value. The only issue with the Raptor is it's a rich man's truck, right? When I say it's a rich man's truck, $2,000 worth of shocks on it, right? You get the right Raptor, you got $8,000 worth of brakes, right? It's a rich man's truck. It's not for every single person. What's cooler, supercharged or turbo? Depends on the application. I like the whine of a supercharger better than like a turbo. Turbos, especially nowadays, where you have like these dual spool turbos that are very small, but they spool up quickly and have very little turbo lag. Turbo is going to get you a faster time. Supercharger is going to get you a funner time. What do I think of the Ford Bronco? Cool concept, costs too much money. See, Murderous Minds, like your partner bought a Jeep Wrangler with the 6.4 Hemi in it. Why? Why? You get all the downsides of the fucking Jeep with the gas mileage of like 10. Because Jeeps are a big ass brick. They get the death wobble left, right, and center. They have a high center of gravity. They're no longer like the ultimate fucking off road vehicle like they used to be. They have very bad power to weight ratio. Then you throw a big V8 engine in it that has to have 93 octane and gets 10 miles to the gallon. Like it's not like it's a truck where you can pull stuff. And the Jeep also has a short wheelbase, so it makes it fishtail real bad if you lose control of it on the highway. Trail bosses are nice. Like trail bosses, I like the trail boss because I wanted a bigger truck, but I didn't want to. I don't want to get like an aftermarket lift and shit like that. And I don't know. Like if I had to do it all over again, I'd never would have got the trail boss. Honestly, if I had to go out right now and buy a truck, I'd go get like a 2010 Silverado 2-wheel drive truck. That's what I would do. Wait, crippled our clowns. You can pull certain things like utility trailers and like lawnmowers and shit like that. But generally, the biggest constraint for most trucks is that weight. Like you don't want the tail to wag the dog. So if a Jeep, which is lightweight, has no doors on it, has a very small frame, short wheelbase, and all that other nice stuff. First off, when you have a short frame on it, it's going to make it harder to trailer, backing the trailer up because you have a shorter pivoting point. And it's also going to make it so like the trailer can pull the Jeep around and move it. Like really, Jeeps can only really designed to put like a bass boat in the water at the biggest application. Why 2010? Because 2010 is the first year they put Bluetooth, and like Bluetooth is basically the only thing I really care about in a car. Like as long as the car's got a stereo system with like a Bluetooth where I can like talk to people on the phone and like play my music off my phone, that's the biggest feature I care about. Ryan, thank you for being a hoodlum, dude. No, I've never applied for car sales, but I never could handle the walking. I watch lots of videos. I've watched lots of videos, and I've loved cars my entire fucking life. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying the Jeep's not a fun car. Like the Jeep isn't a truck though. It Jeep used to be like the off-road standard, and it used to be the standard like, hey, let's take the doors off, let's take the top down, and let's go to the fucking beach. It used to be the fun party truck. Like the Jeep was designed to like pull the fucking cooler to the beach. That's what the Jeep was for. Nowadays, Jeeps are $100,000 cars with fucking 6.4 liter V8s in them. No real purpose. I know crippled clowns. Like my '09 Impala didn't have Bluetooth. I used like a Bluetooth adapter in like one of the 12-volt ports. It still doesn't sound as good as like a native Bluetooth. Charizard's hard difficulty, so you pick Charizard. Like Charmander is the hard difficulty for Pokemon. Like it goes down the way you go. Bulbasaur's the easiest. Squirtle's medium. Charizard is hard, so you go Charizard because Charizard is weak versus like the first 2.5 dungeons. How do I know that? I played Pokemon Blue and Red with my brother when we were little kids in the back of the fucking Crown Victoria. Big up Charizard. Thank you, Mitch. Thank you for the $4. We used to sit at the top of the doors off a Jeep and go for long rides. Some of the best times of my life. Yeah, there's cool times to have in a Jeep, but like the Jeeps nowadays are not that. Yeah, they can still do that, but like, would you pay $100,000 for one when really the same entry point could be had for like 28,000? Because you can get two-wheel drive Jeep, you can get two-wheel drive Jeeps with 4 cylinders then right now for 28,000. What's my cookout order? Spicy patty, mustard ketchup, uh, mustard ketchup, cheese, onion. But generally, I either do that or I get the pulled pork sandwich with slaw and hot sauce, and I get double Cajun fries. Evan, I hope so, man. I do hope so. No, I'm not. I've never been into opening Pokemon packs. Like I played Red and Blue. That's as far as I've ever went. Like me and my brother, we didn't have a whole lot of like money growing up, so like we didn't get all the games. We had to get stuff that we had to ask for stuff that we could play. I did not know that, Joan. I know the Crown Vic my grandma had was not a Koenigsegg. It was like a 94 ish. It was a square body. It was a box style. It was green with like that plastic chrome insert all in the grill and shit like that. And had this huge fucking back seat. You can get lost in the back seat in the trunk of this fucking car. And I remember like me and my brother, we used to have like two like throws in the back seat of the Crown Victoria, and we both get in the back seat and we buckle up and we throw um, the cover over our heads so we could play our monochromatic Game Boys, and we would tell each other about how um, where we were at and what Pokemon we were finding. I remember getting so excited when I learned that you could find Pikachu just off like the first route, because normally you get like Pidgeotty and you get like Rattata and you could get Monkey. But in the place where you can get Monkey, you could also find a Pikachu as a rare catch. And this is before the first two games came out, before like the cartoon or anime, most people call it, got famous in the United States. But when we were playing Pokemon, that cartoon was super popular, and we were always watching it after school. So, I don't know. That's just a memory. It might have been in '85. I don't remember. Like, let me look at the 1985 Crown Victoria. Like, because my grandma didn't. Yeah, that's it. Let me pop this bitch over here. This is this is the car I was talking about right here. We called it. Me and my brother, we called it the Grasshopper. That's what we named the car. Yeah, it was that color. It was that green. What's the biggest thing stopping me from losing weight? Sedentary lifestyle. Always stuck home. Like, not moving around is probably the biggest culprit of me. Like when I'm out and about and I'm doing shit, I don't really eat that much. When I sit here and I'm bored, like say for example, like if I sat here for like tonight, let's say instead of like streaming right now, I was like rendering a video or something. I would fucking I would just sit here and be bored. I'd probably go get McDonald's or something. What got me so heavy into cars? I think I told that story last time I did a wing in it. Freedom, the freedom of the car itself. There was two things that really got me into cars: subwoofers and like the overall freedom cars give you. Because I remember when I got hooked was when I wanted to go to Walmart one day, and this is just after I got my full license, and I had a old fucking Honda, and it was a pile of shit. It was a pile of shit Honda held together with duct tape or whatever, and it was the first time in my life I realized I didn't have to wait or ask permission for anyone to go to Walmart. I had gas in my car. I had a license. I could just go. And that hooked me from that moment on. I was a car guy. And then like maybe a year later, my brother needed some money, and I needed to start building my credit. So my mother took me to the bank and got me a $500 line of credit. $500. Boom, 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 boom. $500. And I had to pay it back, but I spent that $500 on buying my brother's sound system in the car. So my brother sold me his sound system and hooked it up in my car for $500. And I was hooked again. Like, I never liked rap music until that point. Until like, okay, I have all this fucking bass. I had two Alpine 12 Type R's. I had fucking I had it wasn't Rockford Fosgate. It was just Rockford back then. Rockford all the way up down 6x8s. Had a head unit, whole nine got hooked up, and that shit beat. It had a vented box and the whole nine. It beat. And I was like, "Holy shit! I love this shit." So like, and this is going into like the late '90s, early 2000s at this point, and this is when Little John and the East Side Boys is just coming out, and they were on fire. So like, I don't know if anybody knows about it, but the Kings of Crunk is the fucking legendary album when you want to fucking beat some fucking doors. Like Little John, that motherfucker had beat ass music. Ryan, dude, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Big ups, Ryan. Thank you, sir. Late night tip 3-6 Mafia. I don't know who I know who Nick Fuentes is, but I'm not really right wing. He doesn't want to have me on his podcast. I'll just fight with him. Was it cool to have a car when you were in high school? That's a loaded question. I got picked on a lot in high school. I was kind of introverted, and I've been introverted most of my life. Like I actually started my YouTube channel to try to help with um my social phobia, because like me, I would always prefer to like sit home and be with my brother. Like me and my brother, we would work on cars. We My mother dated a lot of men, so like there was a lot of different guys coming in and out of our lives. And some of them worked on cars, some of them didn't, and like some of them like bonded with us from working on cars. But for the most part, I played a lot of Diablo 2. He played a lot of World of Warcraft. Played a lot of StarCraft. We played a lot of like me and my brother just played games a lot. We played games and we played baseball. So like growing up with a brother around my age, I spent most of my time with my brother. Ryan, dude, thank you for the 15 gifted members. And like I had trouble with my weight and I had trouble making friends in school. And when I went to school, I was super introverted and I got picked on a lot and I didn't like it. So I ended up started skipping school. And I got hit with truancy and all this other shit. And I never did bad in school, bad, but like I didn't go enough to actually get good marks and I ended up just dropping out. As soon as I could, I dropped out. I dropped out, went got my GED, passed my GED on the first try, and then I went and started delivering pizza, and then I eventually went in went into like a temp service, got hired on at a plant. Me and my brother still play games. We still play the same fucking games, right? Like my brother right now is like me and him raced to 99, which I won because I got more free time than he does. But on Diablo 2 on hardcore, which I think he got his done too. He don't, he wants no part of the streaming stuff. He doesn't like those type of games. Like he likes Final Fantasy Tactics, but he's in Elden Ring right now. He's heavy into Elden Ring right now. He plays Elden Ring and he plays like Warzone. I tried to get him into Red Sector, but he don't like Battlefield. Ryan, dude, dude. How many is that, Ryan? Is that 20 or 25 gifted subs? Ryan, are these real gifted subs? I wish I could check. Thank you so much, regardless. Thank you for even putting the thought out there, though. I don't want to say, James. I don't like giving out my other people's personal info. Like I've been in this game long enough to know that people will write down anything that you say, and they will try to utilize it against you later. So I'm not going to give away what my brother does. Am I wearing a cowboy hat because I'm going to Ram Ranch? No, no. I wear a cowboy hat because I always wanted one. And I recently said fuck it, and I went and bought one. It ain't a great one, you know, but it's a real one. It's a real fucking cowboy hat. It's not a fake one. It's not a show one. No, if you're asking if my brother's got off of his drug problem, he has. Yes, my has been clean for 8 years now, and he's doing really really good. Am I going to be playing Crimson Desert? Maybe if it goes on sale, man. Like I don't look at that as a $70 game. Yeah, 7 3/4. Well, 7 5/8. Becomes a fake cowboy hat the moment I put it on. Why you calling it that, Slackmore? I got cows. I got cows. $30. No cap and straws when it gets like $30, 25, $30. This hat right here, I think it cost $110. Do I ride horses? Come on, dude. Ain't no fucking horse. First off, the only horse that could probably fit me would be like a Clydesdale. Second off, I ain't owning a Clydesdale. I ain't got that kind of fucking money. Are you trying to say my hat looks cheap? I mean, it's a real fucking hat, dog. Like it's got the band and everything. Like it's hard to keep clean because it's black, and I have a cat. I honestly I do clean this thing like every 3 days. Like I tried on Stetsons. Like I wanted to buy a Stetson hat so badly. Like I wanted to buy an American made hat, but every Stetson hat I had, like I have an odd head shape. Like you see, like this is like an oval. It's not completely round. But cowboy hats come with like either this oval shape or they come with a completely round shape. And the place I went, every Stetson I picked up was the round shape and it didn't fit my head right. So like every Stetson I tried on wasn't as comfortable. Mm. What made me go to a temp service back in the day? I knew I couldn't deliver pizza my entire life and I wanted to get into a job that had some type of health insurance and 401k plan. Slacking more. I agree with you. There is money to be made if I lost weight, but the problem is people don't care about the journey. They care about the finish line. Look at Nikocado Avocado, right? He got tons of views and clicks when he showed up like, oh, he had lost all the weight. But nobody's gonna sit there and watch you run on the stairmaster. Cozy Scott, no, honestly, no. Um, I hated MetGlass, and like I had no intention ever going back. And if like I didn't know what I was going to do if they called me back because I got laid off, but I was going to make a career change regardless. Well, it wasn't about the fall. It was about how they didn't care about your livelihood. They didn't care about any kind of like personal life. right? I was 22, 23-year-old man, and like I had no time I had no time to even find a woman, right? Like I was talking to girls, but like they want to go out, and I'm like, oh, can't work. I'm at work. I got to work that day. No, I got to work that day too. Well, what day you don't work? Well, I got like Sunday 2 weeks from now off, but I only can be out for like 4 hours because I got to change over to day shift from night shift. And it's like, oh my lord. What era was the highest earning on YouTube? Locale Live. I made more money in the 1 year in Locale Live than I made in my entire YouTube career. Depends. Depends if it was a changeover week or not. But generally we work 612s. I'm not fucking with you. We worked 612s. We were round the clock. Every week I had overtime. Every single week. I mean, like I couldn't do it at my like now. I wouldn't be able to do it now, but I was able to do it because I was like 21, 22 in pretty good shape. Yeah, had no life outside of work. I told you before, like I would wake up at like 5 p.m. I'd take a shower. I'd get dressed for work. I'd leave the house by like 5:50. Right. I'd go up to Burger King. I'd get a Western Whopper and a drink. I'd eat most of it on the way to work. And if I had some left over, I'd sit in the break room and finish it. I'd clock in at like 6:50, and I wouldn't clock out to fucking 6:50 a.m. every day of my fucking life. I'd get home. I'd take another shower once I got home because you would get like steel bits and shit and grit in your teeth. And like if you go pick your nose, it'd come out fucking black from like all the shit in the air. I'd play like 2 hours of Call of Duty. I'd go to sleep, wake up, and do it again. That was my life for like 3 years. Yeah, living to work sucks. That's why I never want to do it again. That's why I spend most of my life working around like having little to no income, a little to no debt. I have the most debt I've ever had in my life right now, which I think is like $1,500. That's how much I gotta pay every month. That's something like that, 1,500. Slackmore, if you want to help me, donate $100. Telling me stuff I've heard 15 times, it isn't gonna help me, bud. We had high turnover. If you're tired of hearing this, why don't I change? If the changing was easy, there wouldn't be $1 billion industry in weight loss. I don't want to talk about weight loss. I don't. I don't. I want people to understand I don't want to sit here and talk about weight loss. I'm doing it on my own. If I want tips, I'll ask somebody privately. Like I'm tired of crying wolf about weight loss. I might never lose the weight, but I'm trying. I am trying. The hardest job I worked was a gas station. I did data entry. Electronically requires a degree, but it's boring. Hotel late shift is easy but boring. Restaurants a bit more fun but physically hard. There's a lot of fucking jobs like that. Like even like the mech last job, it's like it was hard in parts, but it was just long hours. Like if you had to deslag an inlet, that was very physically demanding and very tiring, right? But if you're just loading the melter up, you're basically playing a video game. It literally you walk around with like a controller on your neck. Ding, ding, ding. Turn on the magnet. Boom. Ding, ding, ding. That's me picking the magnet up with all the metal. Now it's like drop the metal in the furnace. Oh, back and do it again. That shit would take 2 hours to load that fucking melter up. I would go so far to say that I did plant jobs that were physical. Working in like McDonald's or like a deli with like a big customer rush, way more physically demanding. You won't get as strong picking up like sandwich meat, but like yeah, you're constantly spinning and turning and like doing things, and you got to take shit. The most shit I've ever took in my life was when I owned a restaurant. Now, I have nightmares from fucking Met glass, honestly. Forklift driver was the best part, man. I loved when I went in postcast and it was my day on the forklift because we would take turns who was the forklift driver. Like every third day, I knew I got an easy shift because like you get to sit on the forklift for fucking 12 hours. Yeah, I owned a restaurant. Look at this guy. You never owned a restaurant. What are you on about? I owned a restaurant. I've owned a restaurant. I've owned a daycare. I've owned a photography company. I still own a video editing company. That's what this is. Um, this is flash forward. This is like Modern Warfare 3 era, and like I'm making good money. I'm making good money. I know. Hey, thank you for $3, man. I appreciate it. Um, and my mother comes to me is like, hey, I I need somebody to go into partnership with me. I need the money, but there's somebody that's willing to sell part of a half of a store, or at least half of a store to us to run a restaurant, and most of it's already set up. But it's got to be renovated. And I go, okay, how much? She's like $25,000, which I generally kept a certain amount of money in my savings account, and it was more than $25,000. I'm like, okay, well, what's the return? Blah 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 blah. So me, my mother, and my aunt got together, and we all went in, and we leased this restaurant. I paid for the renovations, and I did all the managerial work. I never worked the restaurant, but I did the stuff with like the accountant and like the setting up of like business accounts and dealing with Coca Cola, dealing with like Hunt's Brother Pizza, anything that was like clerical. I was doing at the time, but I was also doing 3 videos a day. So like it felt like every time I opened my eyes, I was at fucking work. Like because I would literally wake up at like 6 a.m., grab Call of Duty content, make 3 videos, render them out. While they're rendering, I was making calls about the restaurant, upload the videos, right? Go to the restaurant, check everything's good, see if everything's going smooth, make sure all the orders there, making sure like all the food's fresh and rotated and been dated and all this other nice stuff. Make sure the grease trap's changed. Come back home, play Call of Duty from like 5 o'clock to like 8 o'clock. Hope I got 3 fucking gameplays. This is where a lot of my like clips of me yelling at people came from. Imagine hate watching a stream and trolling on $2 donation, but at least it's on 20 pleb. Hey Docker, thank you for the 20, man. Because like people used to follow me around and like I just needed gameplays, right? I just needed gameplays. I didn't want to play Call of Duty. I just needed something to be in the backdrop. So like people would come in to my lobbies and they would try their fucking ass off to like prove that they were good enough to get on my friends list or wanted to be my friend or wanted to play with me, whatever it might have been. And I was like, "Dog, go away. Stop following me." That kind of shit. Remember, I'm younger at this point. And that's where a lot of people started hating me from. That's where like I started my locale fucking thing. Boom. Sorry to change subject, but it's impossible to get through a stream unless it's a pit or cafe with your mom or Tommy. Any criticism for Keem because he needs it badly? Well, the only criticism I have of the locale universe right now is there's too many fucking shows. Too many fucking shows. Consolidate. Have like 10 hours of programming instead of 24. right? Just get your best guys together that's shown that they can earn and they work good together and they got chemistry. Put those guys together. Get like Tech and Jaffe and like Tommy C and Batgirl and like grab all those guys. Grab like, Tina and Gidgey and like Amber Lynn. That's your circuit, right? That's your fucking circuit. Cut everything else. Cut all the rest of it. Oh, did we have another donation come in? Oh, that was $27. Thank you so much, Boone. Thank you. Oh shit, we're over halfway done with the donation goal. They're not awful. They're just unique. They're on the little slice of pie, like Local Chubby and Local Nerds. Like I feel like a lot of them, like Alpha and like Local Gay and stuff like that. They're like, who's this for? Who is this for? And they never get a time to simmer. Like anytime something starts working, it gets broken up. I remember when Rastoff and like Sweet Tea were on Bus. They were amazing together, right? That shit would work. Yeah, there's Local Gay for real. There's Local Alpha. I remember right before like Fat Camp, the first Fat Camp, me and Jay Hoof were going to get together and do a second show, and we wanted to call it Paranormal Obscura, right? Because we wanted to talk about horror movies, and we want to talk about photography, and we wanted to talk about ghost stories. That's all that show was going to be: horror movie, photography, and ghost stories. Jay Hoof was a professional like cameraman for many movies in Hollywood. He's a professional photographer. He loves horror movies. I love horror movies. I consider myself a movie buff. We got along really well, and the whole premise of the show was going to be we were going to ask people in the community to send in their ghost stories, right? Like we were going to set an email up, and you could send in your ghost stories, and you would either like, and we were going to have a number that you could call to leave voicemails. Granted, somebody was going to troll on it, but like we'd pick the voicemails up, and we would go over them, and then we'd use like 2 or 3 voicemails every fucking show and listen to the person's story and then talk about it. And then we would theme the stuff like, oh, this is the Bigfoot section. We were going to like, here's a Bigfoot story that one of our listeners came in. Here's a Bigfoot movie that we talked about. And then we would talk about how the filming of the Bigfoot movie had and how it could have been done better. That kind of thing. That was the idea of the podcast. Brett with the $2. Marp. Hey, Pimp, you going to play Crimson Desert on time of your free time? No. Like, if anything, I'm probably going to get Space Marine 2 here soon. I'm thinking about getting Space Marine 2, and I've been playing Fallout 4 in my free time. Like, my absolute, when I'm sitting here doing nothing, I'm playing Fallout 4. Brett, Sneed, Feed, and Seed was formerly Chuck's. Sneeds, Feed, and I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't even know what currency you just donated in. What happened? Well, Fat Cat 1 happened. But Keem came in wanting to change the name from Paranormal Obscura, which I thought was a tight name, to Local Horror. He's like, it's all about branding. It's all about branding. I was like, okay. Because I want to wear a cowboy hat at 1 a.m. Why don't I do it now? Um, I'm sure Jay would probably still be down to do it because, like, we wanted Ripcord. Hey, Pim, good to see you too, Ripcord. Thank you for the $10. Because like we wanted to go do things too, but that was the expensive part. Where like Jay is a very good for like filmographer, and we wanted to go and like, for example, there's a hospital in Kentucky. It's called Waverly Hills, right? This hospital right here, Waverly Hills. During the summertime, you can rent out this hospital Marb, you know, Pimp, we love watching you. Don't worry about the Keem shit. Just keep gaming about the. I want locale to work, man. I want me to be a part of locale and it work, right? I don't. I know I'll probably never make the locale live money again, but I wouldn't mind going and making like $3,000 or $4,000 extra sitting over there. I just don't know how to make that happen without it me dumping mustard on my head every fucking day because I don't want to do that. And that's a Geordie problem. But back to this, you can rent out this at nighttime most of the year, right? You can't do it at Halloween because they turn into a they turn into a haunted house. Um, but me and Jay were going to like, hey, we're going to go rent this out and we're going to sell tickets to it to the local audience, right? So the tickets were going to be like $200, right? But the idea, because it costs like $2,000 to rent this for like a night. So like if you get 10 people and you get like $200 each, you basically it's like the group paying to rent like an Airbnb. But like we were gonna like set it up so like we're gonna have everybody with cameras. We're gonna have everybody like doing like the ghost hunting shit, like with the night vision and like holding up sound um detonometers and stuff like that. And just something fun, right? By the way, this is a tuberculosis hospital. When tuberculosis first broke out, you can see on the top here, they used to put patients out here for like uh what do they call it, clean air therapy, where they thought like clean air would cure tuberculosis and shit. The universe is doing fine, right? The universe is doing fine. The local universe is. It might not be making the same money as it used to make. The viewers might be down a little bit, but overall, like it's very sustainable. Like I go over there all the time, and like they still have fans. They still have crazy. Like the girl world is like tripled the size of the Discord. Yeah, I seen DSP was making fun of me. By the way, Meth, thank you for the donation, dude. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. Wait, have you ever seen the film, the 8 Films to Die For series, Lake Dead's awesome horror movie? I have not seen those. Unless they're talking about like the ones where like, God, what was the one? What was the name of that one movie? There was one movie that if you said its name, it was like On la du fromage or something like that. God, what was that about? Meth shouldn't be in Band World. The Jarnette Sanitarium in Virginia. Slowkeys, Del Taco or Taco Bell. I've never had Del Taco, so I'm gonna have to go with Taco Bell. But even then, I don't really like Taco Bell. Like Taco Bell only does two things really, really good. They do soft tacos really well, and they do fucking Pepsi really well. Like their Pepsi seems to be a different level than everybody else's Pepsi, and I love their nacho fries. So somebody wanted me to look up this. This is the Western State Hospital Complex. Apparently has anti-trespassing matters. I don't know the history of this one, but still a cool fucking idea. Are the Slayton sisters married yet? I think they are. So I think I can drop this. The Slayton sisters, at least I think Amy was getting married at Waverly Hills. Thank you, Rest, for the dollar. Rest Burgoo. Thoughts on Chinese food? Usually when I get Chinese food, I only get two things. I either get vegetable lo mein or I'll get egg rolls. And if I'm really feeling risky, I'll get General Tso chicken. Do I believe in ghosts? That's the fun part. I don't. I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in aliens. I don't believe in Bigfoot. I don't believe in the Ogopogo. And the Loch Ness Monster can suck my motherfucking dick. None of them are real. But I love cryptozoology. I fucking love it. Like, it's the most interesting thing in the fucking world. Like, my favorite crypto is Bigfoot, but I don't believe in his ass. Wings, how much to eat sushi on stream? More than you got, Ripcord. I don't like fish. I used to eat fish when I was a kid, and my granddaddy would fry me up some fucking brim, and he would never debone them, and I'd get bones stuck in my throat, and I hate the meat. Ugh, not a fish fan. I don't believe in anything paranormal. I don't believe in any ghost. When I'm walking in the woods, I know a werewolf ain't gonna fuck me up. Dude, Ripcord, thank you for the $20 tonight, man. Appreciate the love, dude. I believe aliens exist. I don't believe they, and I know this contradicts what I just said. I believe aliens exist. I just don't believe they've ever visited us because I feel like aliens are subjected to the same problems we're subjected to. Right? There's only two types of life form that can happen in the current physical realm: carbon and arsenic based life forms. Right? Like those are the two. We're carbon based. Most things will be carbon based. They still have the same level of physics. Docker, I don't get to catch your streams off anymore, but appreciate the years of content. Missed the early PK days. Glad you're still pressed on and all the BS you've endured. Have a good night, brother. Dude, Docker, thank you so much for the $60, man. Appreciate the love, dude. So much. Thank you, dude. Keep yourself safe. No, Marp, you didn't get banned. Am I a man of God? No, I don't. I'm not a religious person. I'm not a religious person. And like, I don't try to knock anybody that wants to be religious. I don't like talking about religion. And it's not because I don't want to like I isolate anybody. It's because like I think religion has a place in everything. And it's not my place to like tell somebody else they're wrong. I used to be that way. I think every person that kind of like loses theism gets that way for a little bit. But as you get older, you realize there's a lot of good things that could come with theism that really helps people. I used to be a Southern Free Will Baptist, yes. But back to the alien thing, I just don't think aliens have overcome the problem we've overcome, which is their lifespans are not long enough. There's not enough time. There's not enough speed that you can get to our planet and still be alive. The only way we're ever going to visit another planet is somebody willing to give their entire life up in the life of their children as well. Because I think it would take like 3 generations to go from like where we're at to the next planet, and we don't even know what that planet looks like. We could get there and it's uninhabitable, right? Like maybe one day we'll find another guaranteed Goldilocks planet, and we'll find enough people willing to like get onto a spaceship that will travel for like 200 years. But who knows? Cryogenic sleep. I don't know how cryogenic sleep works. Looked you up after you trash your night. You a nice dude. Ignore that. Keep being a nice guy. Thank you for the $5. Huge erection. Phil's a good guy too. I'm not a hater of Phil. Like to me, like YouTube, we've always clowned on each other on YouTube. Is when that's the fun part. Like I get to make a video of like reacting to Phil's content later. That's cool. Whatever. No hard feelings. Oh, thank you, Rolling. We had another $10 donation come through. If aliens came down and asked you to come up with them and leave this world behind, would you do it? No. No. I made a promise to Kelly through sickness and health, and I would never leave her behind even to go with aliens. Not, and let's be real, I ain't walking that fucking far. And if they wanted anything to do with my fat ass, it would be there to make fun of me. What if the aliens were hot? There's hot fucking women here on Earth. What are you talking about? Why would it matter if the aliens are hot? Wings, do you think Ted Williams will hit 400 when his head is eventually attached to a cyborg body? No. I'm going to say some controversial shit, and a lot of people are going to ostracize me for this. So get ready for it. This is going to starve, right? People like Babe Ruth, and I know Ted Williams played in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, right? But people like Babe Ruth hit their home runs off of dudes that had to go to work the next day. I don't count them the same level as I count Barry Bonds or Sosa or Aaron Judge or anybody in today's game. I just don't count it. Because, like, dudes would have to work 8 hours, come home, get dressed, go to the ballpark, and pitch to support their family. Right? And they weren't pitching at the same level as Pedro Martinez. They weren't, like, scientifically altering their pitching stance. They weren't throwing 100 miles an hour. The ones that could throw 100 mile an hour were legendary. Nolan Ryan, rumored to throw 100 miles an hour. Walter Johnson, he was considered the train. Walter Johnson threw like 95 miles an hour back in the day. That was considered the hardest fastball you could throw. Right? Named hitters all roided out of their minds, by the way. Steroids can't make you hit a baseball. Steroids can't make you hit a baseball. It can increase your bat speed a little bit, make the baseball go a little further. But when you put somebody like Barry Bonds up there with just raw talent, there's never going to be another Barry Bonds. Steroids will make you hit more home runs because you will get extra distance on balls that wouldn't go out. But the sheer level of fear that you struck in a person is how well you can hit. Let me point this out to you, right? Let me point this out to you. Barry Bonds was a first ballot Hall of Famer before he even touched steroids, right? He got jealous because McGwire and Sosa were in the headlines saying they saved baseball. So he started hitting the juice, right? He started hitting the juice hard. All of a sudden, Barry Bonds went from a guy that could steal 40 bases a year to a guy that was fucking pushing 40, having the best careers of his year at the plate, right? He put 35 pounds of muscle on from 98 to 2000. 35 pounds of muscle in 2 years. So, but let's talk about his big season, right? Barry Bonds holds the home run record, right? But he also holds the walk record. You get an average of 650 plate appearances a season. Like a normal player would get around 650 plate appearances. Barry Bonds walked, I think, 240 of them. 232. 2000, he walked 232 times. So a third of Barry Bonds' plate appearances, he just walked to first base. Walked to first base. And to put that in perspective, out of those 232 times he walked that season, he was intentionally walked 120 times. That means there's 120 times he went at the bat, the team goes, we're not pitching to you, right? So he broke the home run record that Mark McGwire set at 70 with a third less at bats. So he got automatically he got like 400 at bats. Maybe even a little less than 400 at bats. And out of those 400 at bats, he's seen maybe 2 good pitches a night. Because even though you don't walk, they're still going to be nibbling on you. They're going to be throwing it outside the zone. They're going to be throwing it in the dirt. They're going to try to get you to chase. Barry Bonds was unworldly good. He was in a different league, right? People talk about like Juan Soto and people today. No, Bonds was so good at hitting a baseball, ESPN would stop what they were doing every time Barry Bonds came at bat that season. Let me go back to Mark. If aliens came down, do you think Ted Williams hit 400? Do you believe, Pip, you could shed some weight with the small adjustments every day? We want you to stick around. Play. I do too, Mark. I need to lose weight. Like I was watching Phil roast me today, and the only thing I noticed was how shitty I looked. And like the first thing it made me do was like, okay, I need to go fucking shave. I need to take care of myself. So I went and shaved. And then I'm like, I want to stream because like it got me motivated to stream. So like I'm gonna come on to stream too. And I'm like, I look bad. I look bad. Like if you go back from like videos from like 2 years ago, let me point something out to you. I was looking for Diablo content yesterday. I want to show you. Just to show you like what I seen, right? So let's pop over here. So I felt YouTube showed me my own video. This one right here, this live stream, right? And like, let me move my camera here, or let me just put the filter down on it. Right? Well, at least Black Ops 3. Look at me here. Gave you look at the possibly difference. The best gun. This is the base gun. 2 years ago. The XM8 was possibly the best gun in that game. Look how worse I've aged in 2 years. But like opinion based, XM8. I got to do something, man. I'm not gonna be here. That's a really good claw for low level. I don't know. It got me in my feelings, and it's like, and the fact that I've been 2 months without soda, and it's like, it's not really working. But I'm sticking with it. I'm trying my best, but I still have a little bit more to give, and I know I have more to give. Best player of the modern era to never win a World Series: Bonds, Eacher, or Ken Griffey Jr. Ken Griffey Jr. was a prodigy. Like if he didn't get hurt, Ken Griffey Jr. would be the number one guy in home runs. I believe in my heart. User, what did you mean when you said blah 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 blah? I don't want to talk about the troll stuff, user. I'm sorry. Thank you. I'm sorry, user. Like I don't want to talk about that kind of stuff. Can you explain stoicism and why you practice it? Is it hard to look at a glass half full all the time? I'm not a glass half full kind of person. I'm a glass half empty kind of person. Like, let's take this for example. Thank you, user. Thank you for this. Thank you for the donations, and thank you for understanding. Like my wife came to me today and she goes, "Oh man, I got some bad news." I'm like, "Okay, well, what kind of bad news you got?" She goes, "Well, my student loans are coming back." Because like her student loans like just disappeared. Like we had set up like a payment plan and everything, and all of a sudden they just stopped taking the student loans out, right? They just stopped taking the money. We don't know why, right? We didn't apply for anything or anything like that. But apparently Biden had like put like a protective like stop on like student loans. And they just disappeared for a couple years. Right? And like so like they're coming back. Morning after kill. If you really want to send me 3 weeks of Gobi, I will take it. I will take it. But I don't know how you're going to get it to me. I can't, isn't it against the law to like send medicine over the bail? So, and this is why I'm saying glass half empty. Like, and she's like, she thought it was going to hurt my feelings because like, oh, here's another bill. Like she was bringing me a bill, and I'm like, I always expected the stuff to come back. There was never a point in my life where I started factoring out the student loans. Because my outlook is like if you always prepare for the worst, you're never gonna be disappointed. I don't know where Morning After Kill lives at, dude. Will you don't let my blue shirt? What's up, red face? You want the Goodyear Blimp song? I don't know why people want me to sing this shit all the time. Lit up like the 4th, I'm a happy drunk. Come to Papa Big Mama, cause your daddy's drunk. I'm gonna pump it up like the Goodyear Blimp. Make you holler for $1. That's the way I pimp. Gold links and minks and shrimp dinners on the bayou. Them's all the things that I ain't gon' buy you. It's like one of them freaky things. Hit it once, maybe every couple week things. I got no love. I ain't got riches. I don't roll Vogue and I don't pop switches. I got no game. I can't reward you. But if you want a long one, baby, I got one for you. I know Kid Rock has better songs, and I don't know why I picked that one. Well, I do know why, right? Because I think it has such fun lyrics, and it's one of those like deep tracks, right? Like it's off of his album "Devil Without a Cause." It's called "I Got One for You," and it's sung so down, like it's not sung upbeat at all. Because like if you hear like Kid Rock's version of it, he's really undertone. He's like lit up like the 4th. I'm a happy drunk. Has no swagger in the voice whatsoever, and it's really a deadpan delivery on the song. And he's got like a black guy singing the background hooks. Marv, I think you could pull some viewers during karaoke. I can't sing worth a lick. Like me and Rich and Creamy had something planned that we were going to do the river in the next Red Sex stream we got, because he plays guitar and he was just going to break out and do the guitar, and I was going to do the river. So he asked me like, "Is there any song I can sing good?" I'm like, "I can do the river," because the river's the only song I can sing well. A black guy. I don't know who. I don't know like who was the background. Who was the background singer on "I Got One for You," Kid Rock? Robert Bradley was the vocals who provided additional locals and background singing on the track "I Got One for You" in Kid Rock's 1990 album. So Robert Bradley is the name. Let's see what Robert Bradley looks like. Robert Bradley, Kid Rock. So like, I'm guessing that's Robert Bradley right above my head right here. I don't know. Dude, people that hate on Kid Rock just don't understand like what his music is. It's like I don't like Kid Rock's like politics, right? But I don't listen to Kid Rock for his fucking politics. I listen to Kid Rock because he does one thing really, really well. He has some of the best like production in his music anywhere, right? When you listen to a Kid Rock album, you're listening to a very well produced album. Like it's full, it has atmosphere, it's very well done, it's always high quality. It feels your speakers, it goes through all the wavelengths. It's a very good product. And not every band gets that. You talking about the Twisted Brown Trucker Band? Baller House walk off for the boxing event. I seen you wear Wu Tang t-shirts. Who's your favorite Wu Tang member and album? Can solo album or toot? Honestly, my favorite is Method Man. I know it's fucking tired as fuck, but my favorite song from him is Bring the Pain. Um, but I'm a big RZA fan too. I love his fucking beats. I've listened to some Ghostface Killer stuff. You know, like I've never been a huge fan of Old Dirty Bastard. Um, I liked some of his like Brooklyn Park stuff, but for the most part, Old Dirty Bastard, like he always come off like a crummy person to me. Like I think he got hit one time for like being on food stamps while he was a member of the Wu Tang Clan. Like I don't know what the Wu Tang Clan does money wise, and I don't know what he does with his money, but like I know he's got enough money not to be on food stamps. You know what I'm saying? Which is funny because I don't like anime, and like Wu Tang Clan is literally like all that Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon shit. Where like it's all karate, kung fu movies, and liquid swords, and like that kind of stuff. That's what they base their songs on. But like it's just dope stuff. Like it's something we listened to as kids. I was about to answer your fucking question too, Joke Waffin. And I was going to name a better duo, and I was going to be like Run the Jewels. I mean, I'm going to be a hater, but Run the Jewels are better than almost anything the Wu Tang Clan's done. But that doesn't mean anything. You can like them both. I give great hugs. I mean, I like Gangstar. Gangstar was a good duo too. What time is it where I'm at? It's 1:30 in the morning. What's my opinion on the Kia Stinger wings? Cool fucking car. Twin turbo 3-liter V6 in a sports car. Cool car, fun car to drive. Um the fact that they made a two-wheel drive version of it kind of was awesome as well because like that's the one that has that would be the fun one. Obviously, the all-wheel drive version is one everybody wants because that's the one that has all the traction. But like two-wheel drive is like a nice barrier of entry and you don't have all the extra maintenance to go with it. The only issue I seen with the Kia Stinger is it has a motor made by Kia in it. I use for this hat, I use one of those like sticky rollers and I'll go over it with a fine tooth comb. But if I let it sit around the house for like one day, because like I usually put it on a wall like this, or I'll sit it on top of my subwoofer in my other room, and the cat will like crawl over top of it and get its hair all over it. Did I ever get into Logic? No, I've never. I honestly I couldn't tell you one single Logic song. What 50 to 75 car to get to age of 19? No car. At the age of 19, you should be concerned about two things: getting education and building and starting to build your wealth. There's no car on this fucking planet, Mateo, that's worth giving away your youth for. Please don't tell me that you leave the house in that hat. Dude, I am a sexy fucking beast when it comes to this fucking hat. Look at this. Look at the side profile. Look at the side profile. Obviously, I tried to clean the hat as best of my ability if I'm going to go out the house in it. Especially with the gut hanging out. Yeah, this shirt's a little tight on me. But I wanted to dress up so nice for you guys. I'll show you my gut if you show me yours. There you go. I wear my pants like an old man too. shit, if they offered 100 million, I'll suck a dick for 100 million too. I ain't fucking fronting. If you see somebody that won't suck a dick for $100 million, they either very rich already or they don't believe that you're telling them the truth. Entropy, the blue plaid on the cowboy hat is an A+ fit. Business is business, you know. Say shit. Dog, I went down on some girls I probably shouldn't have. And I'm saying I went down on some girls I probably shouldn't have, and like that was probably worse than any dick you probably have to suck for $100 million. Hey, sometimes you get a little froggy, and you just don't think straight, right? You're not the one thinking no more. That might be a death sentence. The question is, would you go down on Amber Lynn Bree for 100 million? I think I'd have to, because if I didn't, Kelly probably beat me up. But I can only imagine what that would be like, dude. It's probably a different color, because I don't know if this is not me being mean about anybody, right? But like when you get with a big girl, like their hoo ha might like sometimes turn like this shade of brown, because it's like it never gets any kind of like vitamin D, and it's got like it feels like it almost got like, what's that shit they used to call pirates get, scurvy? It almost looks like scurvy, and I'm sure like her shit would be there. Like that would be, you would need like a snorkel to go on that adventure. Like honestly, because like you're gonna have to be like a 4-wheeler going through the swamp. No. Kelly's not that big, Griffin. No, I'm talking about big, big. Like I'm like Kelly's like 200 pounds. Like honestly, and like when she was when she was at her lightest, she was like 140, right? But like the heaviest I've ever seen Kelly is like 220. When I'm talking about big, like Amberlyn Reed is 3 times Kelly's weight. Like she's like 600 pounds and shorter. Like you're gonna have to do this number. Like you're gonna have to literally do an arm day to get down there to do it. Like you're gonna be holding up a thigh or two. And I'm not trying to say other dudes have messed with big girls, but like when you deal with big girls, like their hoo ha gets deeper too. So you gotta kind of like spread that shit. Now DSP didn't betray me. I watched some of DSP's stuff. Nothing he said was outlandish. Dude, that's the whole thing, Mitch. None of. Can I tell the story, Mitch? Thank you. I have to tell this story. I know I've probably told it before and people have probably heard it before, but I gotta tell this story. It's a 600-pound life story, because I used to watch a lot of 600-pound life because I had weight loss surgery at one point. I know you can tell, right? But when you're about to go through like a weight loss surgery, one of the big portions of 600-pound life is people having the weight loss surgery itself. So you tell people, so you watch a lot of the episodes. You watch a lot of the episodes, and there's this one episode, and I don't remember the name of the person. Don't ask me this, but like she was this big girl. She was 600 pounds. She had brown hair, and she was with this Appalachian ass fucking dude. He kind of looks like Phantom, right? So he was a little skinny dude. He was like 5'6". You know, he looked like he could crack a natty light without even thinking about it. They get the bad gastric bypass. I got the gastric sleeve. So it's not the same one on the show, but it is a similar vein. So this man would take her out on the porch and wash her, right? Because they didn't live in a place where she had a shower that she could use, and she couldn't fit in the bathtub. So he had a chair. He would take her out and he would wash her in the chair. Like literally, like he'd wash under her titties and under her fat rolls and all this other stuff. Like literally wash her down like she's a fucking cow. And he would go get her food, and he worked 2 jobs. He worked a full-time job, and then he also worked at a gas station. And he would do this so that he could pay the bills and feed her at the level she wanted to be fed at, right? So like she's very mean-spirited to him, but this dude loved her. Like he honestly loved the shit out of her. He worshiped the ground she walked on. So like she goes and has the surgery. She loses all the weight. He cooks for what she wants to cook. He does exactly what he needs to do. He's a supportive partner. She drops like 400 pounds, right? Like she gets down to like 160-pound woman, right? 160 to 180-pound woman. She's a little chubby, but she's no longer 600 pounds. You know what this bitch does? She leaves him. She breaks up with this man. And you know how those old reality TV shows, they do that thing where they do an interview in between the segments. She goes, "I'm hot now. I can do better." The fuck you can. The fuck you can. Woo! This man worked 2 jobs for you and bathed you like a fucking cow. And you think, "I'm hot now, I can do better." If I seen that motherfucker on court TV, I'd understand it. I'd understand it. There was another woman. Roles flipped. This was I kind of remember this guy's name. This guy, I don't remember his fucking name. Robert was his name. Robert Bear, I think. I think it was Robert's episodes. But Robert was an 800-pound man. 800 pounds. To put that in perspective, I'm 440. Right? I'm 440 pounds. Robert is 2 of me. Right? Robert is me getting on my back. He's a big fucking dude. Right? Robert is so fucking fat, and he's laid in bed so fucking long that his stomach has like parted like the Red fucking Sea. Like he's got 1 round of fat on this side of him, and he's got 1 round of fat on this side of him, and they're just there. They're like boat anchors. They're just like boat anchors. And go watch this guy. You can see it. It's on 600 pounds. His name's Robert. And he has the biggest ride or die bitch ever. Like this girl is so ride or die. I've never seen another woman that holds up to this chick's candle. She's not the prettiest girl in the world, right? But not only is Robert 800 pounds and eats like an 800-pound man, he's also a drug addict. He has a pain pill addiction. A pain pill addiction at the tune of almost $100 a day. So this woman cooks him food, works 2 jobs, bathes him, gives him pleasure sexually, and buys him pain pills under the guise that he will marry her one day. The guise that he will marry her one day. And I'm like, dog. I can't get my wife to stop buying shoes. like, That's like, they build women like this? What the hell? Like, if some dude didn't snatch her up, because Robert ended up dying of a heart attack, right? What ended up happening was like he lost a lot of weight. He went into a hospital for like years. Like Doctor Now put him into like a helpful hospital for like a year and a half, and he lost a lot of weight. But to help him move around, Doctor Now started to cut off one side of his fat because he literally had these anchors of fat on both sides of him. So he cut off one of them, and he was going to cut the other one off. But you got to recover. You got to get the body time to recover, so it just doesn't go into shock. But to do that is very painful. So you got to give him pain pills. So once he gave him pain pills again, it triggered his addiction hard. And like he started begging Doctor Now for like pain pills and shit like that. And he started feeling bad, and I think he ended up having a heart attack midway through the show. So they never got to finish his episode. So his episode gets cut short. Where does an 800-pound go to boo boo? In a pan that somebody puts under you. Well, it's like I was saying, there's a guy in the local universe right now. He goes by the name of Turbo. And like, I look at Turbo and I'm like, dog, why? I'm like, why? Like, I don't know if you guys know what Turbo is. Let me see if I can find Turbo here. Let's look at. I know Keem ain't gonna fuck with me.
Keem, I have idea for a beer line. Good. It'll be like White Claw.
Oh, Keem ain't gonna fuck with me. Let's see here. So like this is Turbo coming in here.
But be called lolcow beer. Get it, local beer.
Yeah. So Turbo, he's mid-20s, maybe early 30s. This man rides a scooter everywhere he goes. Like anywhere he goes, he rides a scooter, and his name is Turbo. This guy, and I'm like, dude, you're so fucking young. You cannot be giving up in life like this. Like I couldn't even like want to joke with him because as a fat dude that's pushing 40 now, and like knowing how hard it is at 40 to like even attempt to lose weight, to give up like this, and this guy's gonna be bedridden well before he actually experiences life. That scooter's the worst thing he could possibly have in his whole body. Like, at no point in my whole life have I ever used a Mark cart. If I couldn't go get fucking shit myself, I'm not going to get it. I'm just not going to go get it. Right? It's a shame. How big? I know how big he is. He's like 510 pounds. I know he walks around, but the fact that he even has that scooter tells volumes. Foodie Beauty has a scooter and she's working on making herself immobile. Why? You know what I want the most in my life right now? It isn't fucking money. Like if I could do anything in my life right now, you know what I'd want to do? I want to ride horseback in the Rocky Mountains and hunt elk. That's what I want to do. You know why I can't do that? I look like a fucking blimp. Thoughts on Nikocado Avocado? Big ups for him losing all that fucking weight. I thought he was an idiot for gaining the weight, but like he pulled the Uno Reverso card on us. He basically did all the eating stuff, got popular, and then lost the weight. But the problem, the last joke's going to be on him. He's going to gain the weight back. I mean, it's not that hard. I have a trailer. I'm not going to load a 4-wheeler in the back of the trail boss. One, I had the 5.5 foot bed with a toolbox. 4-wheeler ain't fitting back there. Two, I have a trail boss. It has a 2-inch lift kit on it. I ain't loading that fucking trailer up there. I most likely pull it on one of my trailers. I have 2 trailers. I have one that has a ramp that would just go on there, and I would just tie it down with a ratchet strap. Obese people are disgusting. I wouldn't go that far. Like I've always said, like this: when you get fat, fat people are just addicts that can't hide their addiction. Kicking, yeah, I can see that. I can see it, man. I want 4-wheelers, man. But like I don't have anywhere to ride them at around here. Like if I get a 4-wheeler, I gotta get 2 4-wheelers. I got one for me, one for Kelly. And once I get 4-wheelers, my brother has 4-wheelers. He's gonna want to go 4-wheeling. And he's the kind of dude that likes to drink in 4-wheel. He's already been in the hospital twice wrecking his 4-wheeler. And I ain't gonna be that guy. I wanna just ride the trails and have fun. Obesity is one of the hardest additions because you have to relapse every day. You have to eat. Yeah, and like if it's like being a crackhead, but like everywhere you go is advertising your crack. I wouldn't say we had the worst addiction out of the lot. I mean, like, but it sucks that you can't hide it. What weight would you classify someone as fat? If you're a 6 foot man, 250, like 250 become fat. Dude, I got a car and truck addiction too. Shit. I love anything with a motor. I love the feel. I love the feel of torque. See, I want to go swimming. That's something I've thought about doing. Like getting it. Like we have a gym here in Conway that you got to become a member of, but it has a big Olympic sized swimming pool in it. And I've thought about like buying some swim trunks and just do that. Like every day, just go and swim for an hour. But like in my head, I haven't done that yet because like why invest the money if I can't get the eating under control? I need to get the eating under control first. Why do you think 4-wheeler UTVs don't last as long as cars, even though you take care of them? Usually doesn't make sense to me, but it seems to be true. Small engines, high revelations. Like generally, the wear on the engine is determined by how many revelations that the engine has to move. Right? When you rev an engine at 1,500 revolutions at 1,500 RPM, right? It is what it is. But if you drive that same engine at 7,000, it's going to wear out faster. And small engines tend to rev high and all the time. And not to mention, 4-wheelers tend to go into mud, water, swamp. They don't really get the same oil changes or care as most like vehicles, right? How many times do you hear people about changing the oil in their fucking 4-wheeler? How many times you seen somebody check the oil in their fucking 4-wheeler? They usually just gun it until it stops. I think almost every like million-mile engine out there, like gas engine, like there was a 350 gas engine that went a million miles. There was like a 3 liter like V8 Lexus engine that went a million miles. There's a few Cummins and Duramax engines, but those are diesels. Those are inline sixes. Well, Duramaxes are V8s, but like the Cummins, which I think Cummins has the most million-mile vehicles, those are inline sixes. You feel like a slob at 200. Just imagine what I feel like at 440. Me and Kelly were out today doing some shit, and this old man just couldn't help but stare at me. He had never seen a gentleman quite like my roundness. Yeah, Joe Smith, but like I used to four wheeler when I was a kid. I don't think I've ever checked the oil. A DL5. If I go swimming, I'm not going to be pushing myself. It's going to be more of like walking around the pool, back and forth, swimming a little bit. Like I'm not gonna go so far and be like, okay. Yeah, that does sound good. Love my Ram 5.9, but at $6, I had to get rid of it. You telling me? Well, here's the thing with trucks in general, right? You're never going to like save enough gas to justify going to a better gas mileage truck. Like I had a 2002 Silverado forever, like 20 years. It got 13 to 14 miles per gallon. That's what it got. It might have got 15 on the highway, right? My current truck gets like 17 and a half, right? But I'd have to go through like, I don't know, off the top of my head, hundreds of tanks of gas, like thousands of tanks of gas to justify this paid off truck versus like a $45,000 used truck for just a little that 3 miles per gallon difference. It's not for me. Like the Tiger Mark for me for 93 is the best. But like here's the thing, right? Costco's got better gas, but you got to have a membership at Costco, and I got a membership at Sam's. Dude, well, first off, my truck's heavier. I used to get close to 19, but I had to switch to the 0W40 supercar oil, and the extra drag on the oil I went from getting 18 and a half to 19 to 17.5. Like I lost like a mile, like a gallon, like a mile and a half per gallon switching the oil. No, the 6.2 in the truck, like GM made it switch over to 0W40 supercar, like to try to keep the crankshaft from eating itself. Like the 6.2s are terrible in the trucks. So my car runs 6.2 supercar, which they're changing to the 0W40 supercar. Now they're changing to 0W40 European, which is a little cheaper. What's the fastest vehicle I've ever been in? 1990 Honda Civic. The problem is the recall motors are going to fucking eat themselves too. So I took my truck in. They did some type of picometers test where they listened to vibrations in the crankshaft, and my truck passed. They put the new oil in, which they give you a free oil change, and they changed the cap and then insert it into the book and stuff. And now I'm on 0W40 for the rest of the truck's life. And they gave me a 150,000 mile warranty in 10 years. No, it wasn't. That 1990 Civic, me and my brother had it tuned up. It'd do 200 miles an hour if you have it long enough straightaway. You ever spilled chili on your Jordy Jr.? Probably. I've spilled chili on me twice I'm sure it probably got down there. I've never put it on there by purpose, but thank you for the $5 floor ride. Fastest I've ever gone, like that I could tell in a car, is 160. 160 is the fastest I've ever gone in a car that I could tell. But like, that Civic we had, the only time we could ever tell what miles per hour we were going when we had it on the drag strip, and it would run tens. It'd do a 10.8 with NOS. That car was fast. That car is like when you open that bottle up and you press that button, it would just throw you. You had no choice in the matter. It was gold hatchback, 1999. Oh shit! I ain't lying about this, dog. We had that bitch gutted. Like, that's all we did with it. That's all we did was we just dragged it. That's what we did in our 20s. Jay, cool. No, it was a quarter mile. It was tens and a quarter. That car ended up blowing up. And we didn't have enough money to buy a new engine for it. So we ended up selling that car for scrap. But we had the door panels ripped out of it. We had the gauge cluster completely out of it. No radio. Had a roll cage in it. Look at these dudes. Do I have any pictures of it? No. You're talking about that. We were doing this back in like 2000. I had to bring my brother on one day. My brother my brother will back my story up. That's all I got for you is a story. But the other car I put 160 in was like a 2018 GT base Mustang. It stops out at 160. No, it's 210. No, I was not 20 in 2000s. How was I 2000? I was 16. We were just getting our license. So like it was probably a little bit past 2000. I don't remember the exact year, but I said early 2000s. It's when we were in our 20s, so like 2003, 2004. This is probably 2003 when we were doing this because he went to the Iraq War right after that. And I think the Iraq War started in December of 2003. You can ask your question. I just, like if it's a troll stuff, I usually require people. I don't like answering troll questions, man. Who do I think wins the fight? Jake Paul armed with a baguette wrapped in a foil, or John Jones using one arm? Is it a boxing match? Because John Jones has both of his fucking legs, and that's all he needs to beat Jake Paul. I don't know much about BMWs. I've always been a Chevrolet guy myself. Like I know a little bit about Fords, but for the most part, all my knowledge is Chevrolet. Like I can take what I know about Chevrolets and take it to other cars. Like I know how like charging systems work. I know how like spark plugs and like air to fuel mixture is. I know how the body control module works, and like each car does it a little different, but you can bullshit your way through a lot of it. But I grew up on Chevrolets. My grandfather worked on diesel tractors and shit, and like he drove Ford almost all his life. So like that's what I know. I can't tell you if you can ask a question about being banned without knowing what the question is, dude. Like if it's something viciously, it probably you're gonna get banned. If it's something sensible, like is it nothing? Probably not. How are you up to it when you work IRL? I don't have an IRL job. Do charity work and do stuff in the stock market and run rental properties. I rent land. I don't have any home rental properties, so like it's very low maintenance. Stock market stuff I do basically like a Vanguard high yield account. Charity work we do when we have access to it. Like we every now and then, if like for example like Columbia has like a sale from like they're selling their coats in the winter, they'll mark them down 80%. We'll go buy them. It's not something that takes a lot of time. And like other stuff is whatever, right? I don't. That's the answer to that question. Yeah, it's just people wanting the pocket watch. Dude, here's the truth. The truth is I'm just trying to save for my retirement because I'm not even trying to save for retirement. I'm trying to save so that when me and my wife do get sick, we don't have to like live off the government. That's the whole truth. I'm not trying to be nefarious about anything. I'm not trying to save for a Ford Raptor. I'm not trying to go on vacations on motherfuckers. None of that. Like I've been around the world. I don't want to go see it. How much does Kelly spend on shoes? A year? Probably about $600. Thank you, Entropy. Appreciate the donation. It's not that she's putting the miles in. A lot of it has to do um, with not her always buying the wrong shoe. Like she keeps looking for a better shoe that makes it so that she's more balanced while running. Like for example, she was on the Brooks Ghost for a while, and she was convinced that the Brooks Ghost was the ones that she needed to do to basically up her 5K game. And then she started this run club, and she stopped like power walking and started running. And she realized the Brooks Ghost didn't give her enough leg support or calf support, and she was having calf problems. So like she did her research, and she's like, okay, well I need these shoes. And I forgot what these shoes were. Like we just went and bought like some $200 pair of shoes. And like I don't want to like tell her like, hey, we're not gonna buy you another $150 pair of shoes because like I want her to be active. If she's willing to be active, at least she's gonna be healthy, right? I don't want to like be the spurn in her side, like, oh, we can't do this. You can't go do this because of money. So I'll make it work. Which I don't know what new shoes she is because she just got a new pair of shoes. Let me go find them. Be right back. So this is the new hotness. It's a Brooks Ghost Max DNA nitrogen injected. Like this apparently was the shoe that she needed for her run class. No. Like I have no interest in getting another house payment. Take a sniff. Smells like a shoe. Smells like leather and cloth. Making fun of Kelly's weight in the 5K walking thing. Tomato, dude. Like people make fun of almost everything you have. As long as you're happy, who gives a shit, right? New Vegas playthrough anytime soon? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not DSP's not my weight class. I don't think Kat's big anymore. I think she's lost her weight. I should do a thing. I might do that tomorrow. I might do a DSP react stream. Need to make me a thumbnail. Reacted like Turkey Tom's new DSP fucking video, right? He does it to me. Well, I can understand why DSP doesn't want to prove it, right? Because like all dudes do is that like you get these creepy dudes that like dig into like any kind of like public record they can get on you, and then they like try to fuck with your wife or make fun of her and stuff. Like she didn't sign up for that. She signed up to be Phil's wife. She didn't sign up to get made fun of by like incels on the internet. Dude, Kelly would beat DSP's wife like a drum. Like a drum. Kelly's at least active. I never understood the worrying about the taxes stuff, right? You get paid, you take 22 to 24% out of what you get paid, you put it in another account, and you send it to the fucking IRS every 3 months. You know you got to do it. And if you need that money that you're putting off to the side to do other things, you're living beyond your means. Uh, I would like to request this. I did have tax issues one time, like when the first time I got hit with like of my first big machinima checks, I got fucked up on taxes, right? So there was like a 3-year period where like taxes fuck with me. But once I got called up, I got called up. But I think every young person when they first do YouTube gets fucked up by taxes because like it's complex how taxes are done when you're a small business and you make a lot of money on YouTube. JKP. First off, you got an anime avatar. Second off, if I wanted to go in debt, it wouldn't be because of trolls, right? It'd be because I wanted to get a new place. Because all it's going to take for anybody to find out where you live at is to like put your fucking name in like any kind of like government like tax website. They'll give you the address of where the person lives at. They'll give you how much they owe on their taxes. You can take that information. You can go look at anything else that's done with the Freedom of Information Act. Right? There's no hiding where you live at if somebody has your full name. So like buying a new house to escape the trolls isn't going to escape the trolls. They can just look up where the last place I paid property taxes at, unless I'm just renting. I don't go on vacation. I don't go on vacation. The boathouse in Florida existed. I know. I've seen it. You remember the claw toy truck, four-wheeled wheels that would climb? No, I don't remember that, John. I want one more thing I want to talk about before we end the stream tonight. So let's talk about this. What do you guys think about OpenClaw? Because like this is something I've been concerned about lately. OpenClaw is basically this AI assistant that you can pay $50 a month for, and I'm worried about what it's going to do to like older people. Like for example, like people that are very easy to like succumb to scams or like catfishing and things of that nature. Because like this AI assistant is been bred from the ground up to be very convincing and more convincing than a human. You can make call lists for it, you can make email lists for it, you can ask it to do things. It will use AI to manipulate its own thoughts and to create things. So for example, it's called OpenClaw. Look into it. For $50, it's in beta right now, but for $50 you get an AI assistant that you can have do tasks 24 hours a day. So like if you have like a list of phone numbers and you're like, hey, call all these phone numbers, run this script, the AI will do that in a convincing way, and it will learn from what it's doing. How's this 260? How's this 62 IQ in play? Like I think it's going to destroy like elderly people's finances, and it might like destroy like iMessage and everything else like on top of that. AI is mostly trash is weaponized pretense. I just think there should be restrictions of it. I don't think we should go into AI. I think as a human civilization, we should be like, all right, this is a step too far. What's up, Eli? Well, it's different in the fake news phenomenon because it's currently going to be better than the fake news. Because generally, most people read at a third grade level and write at a fifth grade level. A computer bred from the ground up will be better and smarter, especially against elderly people. So it'll be super convincing. Like I've told my mother already, I've warned her about it. Like, hey, if you don't know who's sending you an email, don't believe any email you've seen. All right, guys. I think that's going to be it for tonight. Thanks everybody for coming out. Thanks everybody for chilling with your boy. Let's go ahead and look back here. I want to big ups to Mitch. Thank you for the donations. Thank you, User, for the donations. Thank you, Boone, for the $40. Thank you, Mark, for the $30 or $40. Thank you, Dockers, Doctor 571. Thank you for the $60 donation, dude. Thank you, Slowly. Thank you, Mitch. Mitch, you donate a lot. Thank you, Mep. Thank you, Ripcord, for the 20. Thank you, Boone, for the 40. Doctor actually donated 70. I'm sorry. Ryan, thank you for the 20 gifted subs. Thank you, Luke, as well, for being a member. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Eric. Big ups everybody for coming out to the stream tonight. Hope everybody had a wonderful time. Hold the fuck up. Hold up. Is that right? That can't be right. Okay. Thanks everybody for coming out. Thanks everybody for chilling with your boy. I'm Audi 5000. Peace, people.